Welcome to Through the Ruth, where we explore life inside the walls we call home and the lives we build within them. I'm Ruth, property professional, storyteller and lover of all things home. Each week, we'll open the door to real stories behind the scenes of the property industry, design, inspiration and practical tips for shifting house, creating calm spaces and keeping your home safe, secure and beautifully comfortable. Because whether you own, rent or simply dream, everyone deserves to feel at home. So make yourself at home. You're listening to Through the Ruth. Hello and welcome back. Today we're beginning a very special series called Psychology of Home. Because home is more than walls and furniture, it's more than a mortgage or a rental agreement, more than styling or storage solutions. Your home is an emotional environment. It is quietly influencing your stress levels, your sleep, your concentration, your relationships, and your nervous system every single day. And most of us don't even realize it's happening. In Australia, about 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health condition each year, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. That statistic matters because mental health doesn't exist separately from environment. We often talk about well-being in terms of therapy, medication, exercise, nutrition, or mindfulness. All things are important, but we rarely talk about the physical spaces that we spend most of our lives inside. The lighting, the noise, the clutter, the energy, the feeling, and whether our homes allow our bodies to actually rest. As someone working in property, I've spent years walking through homes of every kind imaginable. Luxury homes, tiny apartments, family homes, investment properties, rentals under pressure, homes filled with warmth, homes filled with stress. And one thing I've learned is this: you can feel the nervous system of a home almost immediately when you walk in. Some homes help your shoulders drop. Others make your body tense before you even know why. So today we're talking about the connection between your home and your nervous system and why creating regulation at home is far more important than creating perfection. Let's start with clutter. Now, clutter is often talked about as a cleanliness issue or an organizational issue. Psychologically, clutter is actually a cognitive load issue. Environmental psychology research shows that clutter increases cortisol, which is one of the body's primary stress hormones. Why? Because your brain is constantly scanning your environment. Every pile of paperwork, every overflowing laundry basket, every unfinished task sitting in visual range. Your brain interprets those things as information requiring attention. So even when you're technically relaxing, part of your nervous system is still working. And this is especially important in modern life because most people are already carrying mental overload before they even walk through the front door. Financial pressure, rising living costs, parenting, work stress, decision fatigue, digital overload. It all matters. Then we come home to environments that continue stimulating the brain instead of calming it. And I really want to say this clearly. A cluttered home is not a moral failure. My home itself is very busy, but it's often a reflection of exhaustion, overwhelm, burnout, grief, time poverty, financial stress, or survival mode. I think sometimes social media has created this unrealistic idea that a healthy home must look perfectly minimal and aesthetically curated at all times. But nervous system regulation is not about creating a showroom. It's about reducing unnecessary stress signals. In property, I've seen 2 homes with almost identical layouts and identical square meterage feel completely different emotionally. One feels breathable and the other feels heavy. And often the difference isn't money, it's sensory overload. Too much visual stimulation can make the body feel like it never gets permission to switch off, which is why small changes matter. Not a full life overhaul, just small reductions in friction, clearing one bench, making the bed, creating one calm corner in the house. Tiny environmental shifts can create surprisingly large psychological relief. Myself, I tend to find, being a maximalist, as I like to call it, I tend to find the busyness around me actually gives me calm because my mind is going so fast all the time that when I come here back home, I'm able to just get that relief because everything else is going fast except for me. Isn't that interesting? Let's now talk about light, because light is not just decorative, it's biological. Natural light plays a major part or major role in mood regulation, circadian rhythm, sleep quality, and energy levels. It's proven in science. Our bodies are designed to respond to light cues. Morning light helps regulate cortisol appropriately. Daylight supports alertness and serotonin production as well. Darkness helps melatonin production for sleep. When homes lack natural light, or when people spend long periods in dark indoor environments, the nervous system can become dysregulated without people fully understanding why. And I see this happen a lot in rentals, especially when younger people are first out of home, particularly in apartment living as well, or high density housing. People keep blinds closed for privacy. Maybe it's security concerns, heat management, or sometimes it's simply habit. But over time, darker environments can contribute to lethargy, low motivation, low mood, and disconnection. Even emotionally, light changes how a home feels. Sunlight creates warmth, movement, life. There's a reason people instinctively gravitate towards sunny spaces. The body associates light with safety and wakefulness. And this doesn't mean your home has to be architecturally perfect or flooded with floor-to-ceiling windows. Sometimes regulation can look like opening curtains for 20 minutes in the morning even. Sometimes it's moving a chair closer to the window for where you normally sit. Sometimes it's adding softer lighting at night instead of relying on harsh overhead lights that keep the nervous system stimulated. Again, small shifts. In my house, we like lamps. We don't like turning on the big light. You go into a room when you're preparing for the evening and you turn on a lamp here and there so that it's beautiful, soft, calming, warm light. And it gets us ready for those cues that we're slowing down for the day. Because well-being is often built around repeating tiny environmental cues. Next, we need to address noise. This one is really underestimated, and nervous systems are constantly assessing for safety, and chronic noise can keep the body in a low-grade stress response for long periods of time. Things like traffic, neighbours arguing, construction sirens, dogs barking, thin apartment walls if you're in a unit. Even if you consciously get used to it, the nervous system may still remain partially activated. And this matters because rest is not simply the absence of activity. Rest requires perceived safety. And if the body feels constantly interrupted, alert, or overstimulated, true recovery becomes difficult. This is why some people move house and suddenly realize how exhausted they were in their previous environment. Their body has adapted to chronic sensory stress the entire time. And I think this is particularly relevant right now because many Australians are living in denser housing, under financial pressure, or in environments they didn't necessarily choose. It's all they could afford. So if your home feels overstimulating, it doesn't automatically mean that you're bad at coping. Sometimes your nervous system is responding appropriately to prolonged sensory demands. And whilst we can't always control our environments completely, we can introduce regulation where possible. Things like soft furnishings, noise buffering, gentler routines, calming sounds, moments of silence, reducing background noise on the TV even, turning it off when you're not watching it. And even one quieter ritual in the day can help signal safety to the body. One thing I've become increasingly aware of in property is that homes are deeply emotional spaces. As a property professional, I don't just think, is this property compliant? Will this lease? Will this sell? If those are in sales. I also think, would someone actually feel settled here? Would they feel calm? Would they sleep well? Will this environment support stability for long-term tenancy? And it's because regulated homes contribute to regulated people. And regulated people create stronger communities, stable tenancies, healthier families, better relationships, greater well-being. Housing is not just infrastructure, and I think the industry is slowly beginning to understand that. So in closing, this week, I want you to notice something. Not judge it, not criticize yourself, just notice. How does your home make your body feel? Does it help you exhale? Or does it keep you stimulated? And what's one small shift that you could support your nervous system this week? Maybe it's opening a window, opening a blind on a beautiful blue sky day. Maybe it's clearing one surface. Maybe it's buying a lamp with a softer light, like a warmer light instead of a blue light. Maybe it's creating 5 quiet minutes before bed without screens or noise. These tiny changes matter more than dramatic ones because your home does not need to feel perfect to support your well-being. It simply needs to feel safer, softer, and more regulating for your body. Your home should not just be a place that you store your life. It should support your nervous system living in it as well. So thank you for listening to me on Through the Ruth, and I'll see you for the next episode. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow Through the Ruth wherever you get your podcasts. And if you've got a story about your home and your experiences, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out, ruth@thepmboutique.com.au. So until next time, take a deep breath, look around and remember, home is what you make it.